A student television is an extracurricular activity. It's not attached into any academic context. We are here because we want to be here. We are devoting 10, 20, 25 hours a week because we want to. And it is organized and managed by students, which means that we have to get the ways, we have to get our means, we have to get the funding, money, equipment. We have to find all our resources on our own. And once we found them, we have to use them wisely. So basically, a student television is a lot of trouble. I mean, I don't know why we are doing this. Well, I know, and you're going to know at the end of the talk. But basically, it's last year we decided, okay, let's do this, let's give it a go. And we are here with a lot of things done already, and we're going to be talking about it in a minute. But on the whole, student television is not about creating video, which that would be like the first misleading point. Student television is, okay, user-generated content. Well, it is not. At least it is not just like that. The student television is an opportunity for students to work or to be in a work-like environment where they deal with real problems, with real people, with real situations, and of course they get real benefits from there. So basically, if we analyze the situation from the employer's point of view and the university point of view, when we study in a university, we get some formal training, and then when we go to the industry, people ask us for different things. So what do we do with this gap? What do we do to short the gap between the university standards or the university outcomes and the expectations from employers and the industry? Well, so hands-on activities like this one, like extracurricular activities in general, where you can foster the students' participation and the hands-on activities, are the ones that are helping to short this gap. We are bridging the gap between university and industry by providing the students opportunities to work in real environments. When all our students go to the industry, to employers, they are all the same. They are all, in paper, they look the same. So what the employers really want is the whole package. They want not only, I mean, they assume that the students have to master the contents, but what they want is that extra factor, that extra element, which we as extracurricular activity are providing. So what else do we provide in the student television? Basically, we provide opportunities for learning, which is deep learning, I mean deep understanding with deep involvement, transferable skills, and that's basically good learning. That's learning that can be used in the industry. That's learning that can be used when you are employed. So it's not just rote learning or any sort of learning for the exam, but learning for life and becoming more employable. We are doing this to become more employable. Something that Michelle used to say before is, pimp your CV. Come here and pimp your CV. Well, actually, we are pimping your CV. We are investing time in ourselves to become more employable. Something that I said already. So we are giving the opportunity to face real work, real workers, real environment, and of course, real tangible results. And besides that, we are also providing links to communities of practice, like here in the UK, the National Association of Student Television, or in the US, the Open Student Television Network, and in the Nordic countries, the Nordic Student Television, and now talking to you with Kudi as well. Of course, we can also, if possible, we can provide links to the industry. We've brought already one person from BBC News London, but on the whole, what's LUTUV? Our society or our activity is called LUTUV, Lancaster University Student Television. And Michelle is going to talk about it briefly.
Buenos dias. When we first started LUTUV, one of our first and greatest challenges was to overcome the perception that we were just a bunch of students who wanted to play with camera equipment. Although there was some truth to that, I think. there were very specific steps that we had to take in order to establish credibility. And as we established credibility, we quickly learned that people love cameras, and many people love to be on camera. And the camera is a very powerful tool for creating an image. So therefore, creating an image of our student television station was one of our first main goals. We had to form a society in a legal sense, legal meaning within the university. We embarked on a campaign of, I don't want to use the word propaganda, but in a campaign of establishing ourselves and showing ourselves in a very particular light. We used the student media that was already here in a sense of the newspaper and the student radio station. And we started trying to get as much free and positive publicity as we possibly could. We got our name out there. We actually did a survey of the students approximately a few months after we started, before we had even produced any videos. And we did a survey to find out if people had heard of us. And we found that the majority of students had heard of us and had a positive image of us. And this is before we had produced any content whatsoever. Establishing ourselves in a positive light from an early stage has actually opened up the majority of the doors that have helped us get equipment, that have helped us provide get to a point where we are now in a very short time. So we're going to take you through a journey, and we're going to tell you about the things that we've done in almost exactly a year since we first started. Originally, when we first started the society, we thought that people were joining because they wanted to have some kind of experience that they could put on their resume or CV. We assumed that the students were joining because they wanted to gain a specific training on specific equipment. We thought that a lot of the students that joined our organization potentially wanted to work for CNN or BBC or a major television station. But about 7 months into it, we surveyed our students as to why they had joined, and we currently survey all students when they first sign up. And we discovered that the majority of them listed on their top 10 reasons why they joined. Almost all of them listed they wanted to have fun. They wanted to make friends. They were curious. A very small percent had any intention of going on to a career in media. A very small percentage cared about the skills that we thought we could teach them. So that, to a large extent, changed the context of what we were doing. We were quite surprised, I think, to learn this. We were quite surprised that they saw this as an outlet and not so much as a learning opportunity.
The Society currently has 65 registered members, 22 of us are on the executive. I myself am treasurer. I'm a first year student doing history, but I'm also interested in it because I'm doing media and film as part of my degree, and it's really going to help me later on in the year when I come to use this sort of equipment, and it's really going to help me with my degree. We are an official Lancaster University society. That means we get funding from the Students' Union, and that's so far how we've got some of our best equipment is through that, and we are currently trying to get more because of the work that we've done so far, and the fact that we've got a good image and the stuff we're producing is useful to the union means that we're likely to get more funding for that. At the moment we have 2 3CCD cameras, 2 more cameras which can film in full high definition, a Busby camera, 2 microphones, a video mixer, a monitor bank, and a green screen so we can use for editing, and we also have a high-spec Mac Pro computer, which is the one that we currently do all of our editing on. Access to that computer has really helped improve things because the software we've now gotten there lets us do advanced editing techniques, which is important to make the final shows look as good as they can, combined with the new cameras that can really film very high quality. We currently share our office where the computer is and the rest of the equipment with the student TV and the student newspaper. And sharing that works quite well at the moment because we're producing a TV version of the student newspaper, and communication is very strong with them because there's always someone in there who we can talk to about upcoming stories and events that they're reporting on. We can then send reporters with cameras out to go and film the events, and it gives another perspective on them, and we can give reports in more detail on some things, and they do other things in more detail, and we just do summaries of some things. So it's working very well at the minute. Most of our footage, in fact all of our footage goes onto our website, lutube.tv. It's how we deliver our content. We use flash videos to deliver it, and we put all of our information about our society, and all of the videos that we've done are on there. We also are on IPTV, which is a university-wide internet video site which shows both commercial channels and smaller ones like ourselves, where all of our footage is on there, and we constantly change that to put new things up and take older things down and make sure it's showing our most recent footage.
Thank you, Chris. I think it's important to understand that we actually started this television station with no equipment, with no money. Some of the early footage we did was with our cellular telephones. We've now progressed to a point where by having a good image and producing highest quality possible with what we were working with, and maintaining high moral standards in a sense of what we were filming, those things all combined have led to the university giving us some equipment to use. So that is pretty much how we went from nothing to the equipment he just listed in less than a year. Do you want to talk more about content?
Okay. Hi, by the way, my name's Tanya. I'm 19 and a theatre studies student, and also a member of LuTube. I started LuTube TV about a year ago now, when it was first a rough idea, and I began experimenting with the camera. I'm primarily a presenter, but I also do a bit of camera work, and I've recently started to learn how to edit, though not too good at that yet, but I'm getting there. Yeah, so Michelle gave me a cameraman, she gave me a camera, and Alberto, it was you as well. And I just started interviewing people university-wide, going up to them, asking them questions, what they thought they'd be interested in, if they'd like a student TV to come up at the university, and the response was very positive. I had so much fun doing it, so then we made some pilot shows to show the university what we can do, as Michelle had stated earlier, so that we can get that funding. That was probably the most exciting part, just the pressure of it all, and doing it, you know, under timed conditions. And I'm one of those people who I like to film in one shot. I don't like doing multiple shots, so the pressure just gets me going, and that's what I enjoy the most about it. So yeah, and now I'm here a year later. I'm on the executive committee. I'm business manager, which is very useful because as a theatre studies student, I don't get much of the business side in my degree at all. So I get to learn how to sort of arrange meetings with people, the publicity side, how to just generally manage things. I've often helped Michelle chair the meetings when she's not there, and just help take her place if she needs me to. So I'm getting there, and I've really learned a lot more business side from this than I have my degree. And at the same time, it also informs my degree, because in the future I want to put on live performance mixed with video. I also hope to work in television one day. So the combination of these live mediums of theatre and video and performance is really something I'm interested in pursuing in the future. And it's great fun, and I want to do it forever, so that's why I do it, and I absolutely love it.
I think we are done with our presentation. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer them.
Bueno, aquí Armando Estañol de Universidad La Salle. Más que una pregunta, más bien es un comentario. Me parece muy interesante lo que ustedes están haciendo, y sobre todo el gran valor que alguna vez me comentaba José Antonio y Cudi, de que sean los estudiantes quienes puedan hacer este tipo de esfuerzos, obviamente en cierta medida apoyados por las instituciones, pero creo que tiene un gran valor, precisamente como ustedes lo están planteando, ¿no? O sea, cómo podemos transferir todas estas experiencias acumuladas de manera extracurricular hacia los lugares de trabajo. Yo creo que bueno, con el tiempo nos podemos organizar para que efectivamente podamos recopilar todas las experiencias que se tienen, aun cuando no estén corriendo hoy todavía sobre Red Cudi, los diversos laboratorios que involucran la labor de estudiantes para el libro que están ustedes formulando.
Thank you. Do you want to say something?
Well, I was just to comment on your comment. We have really found, and both Alberto and I have experience in the workplace before returning to academia to obtain our PhDs. However, most, like Tanya and Chris, and most of the members of the television station have never had a job. So we try and bring what we have observed in the last 10 or 20 years in the workforce as what is commonly called here the 21st century skills. In the new high-tech environment, there are distinctly different needs of today's students like Tanya and Chris than there were of me when I first entered the workforce. So in line with your comment as well, we definitely try to focus on that regularly. So it's not just about running a television station and making films, it's mostly about learning to work together as a group and learning to deal with conflicts as they arise, just as they're going to arise later in life in the workplace.
We're basically doing, we're basically using video as a means for reaching these opportunities for enhancing 21st century skills and soft skills. We could be doing this society, I mean, we could be running, I don't know, dancing society or something like that, but video, we found video is interesting for us, interesting for students, and it was in the right moment. In 2006, video became so, video changed dramatically with YouTube and other video share websites. So we think that we are doing this in the right moment, in the right time, and people are responding according to our expectations, basically. But again, video is just the means of reaching something.
Alberto, yo tengo un comentario. Nosotros en CUDI tenemos un boletín que emitimos cada mes, en el que me encantaría poder poner una nota sobre YouTube y sus experiencias, así como una liga a la página. ¿Tú me podrías mandar una pequeña nota de media cuartilla para incluirlo en este boletín y distribuirlo a toda la comunidad CUDI?
Encantado. Sí, mañana mismo lo tiene ahí.
Oh, I'm on, okay. I just want to say thank you for listening and giving us this opportunity, because it's been absolutely great fun and it's part of what we love doing. So thank you, gracias.
Well, watch Tanya's face, because you're gonna see her soon in TV, and when you see her in BBC, well, you'll see she's gonna be a big star.
I would like to thank Michelle, Tanya, Chris, Alberto. Thank you very much for your exposition on